we were on a trip one time, and for some reason I thought it was a good idea to feed our dog in the hotel bed. And then my dog like spilled it all over the bed. And I was like, oh man, we're going to have to get these sheets cleaned, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, it's fine. I'll just sleep.
That's such a dude. I'll just sleep with the kibble. Who cares?
It's fine. I was like, dude, it's like raw chicken.
Baby, we're on vacation. You get sleep. I'll sleep on the pedigree. It's fine.
Yeah.
Welcome to Foster the Podcast.
Are you guys matching beanies on purpose?
Yes, we're matching beanies on purpose. Welcome to Foster the Podcast.
Oh, no.
The world famous Foster the Podcast. The best GD podcast in the land. I'm your host, Justin Foster. I'm going to say that. I am your host, Justin Foster. My co-host, as always, Kristie Marie Lacey.
Hi.
Very special, very, very wonderful, amazing guest today. Zara Mizrahi, everybody.
Hello. I'm very moved by the sound.
Yeah? You like that? Does it feel good?
It almost sounded like an ocean.
Yeah, a little bit, right?
It's very like distant crowd. I feel like I'm like a mile and a half
Can you play it
away
again? I
from
think
all
it
the-
like, boosted her self-esteem. Zara Mizrahi, everybody. That's a theater crowd. That's like a balcony.
arena.
Yeah,
That's
that felt really good.
Yeah.
I felt the best because you said my name
You like it?
smoothly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the best part.
Yeah.
Nice.
Zara Mizrahi, everybody. I have that radio voice.
Ooh.
Ladies and gentlemen, our very
Oh,
special
no.
guest. Our repeat. How many times did you do the original show? A lot.
Yours?
The original show, right?
Wasn't it only like once or twice?
I think it was just twice.
Twice?
Yeah.
It feels like you were one of the most repeated guests that we had, but maybe I'm wrong.
Just a favorite.
You were just a favorite,
Just
yeah.
a favorite.
So happy to.
And we've been trying to get this going for a while.
So long. I've been hearing about the rebirth for a really long time. It's exciting.
Remix. Yeah.
Rebirth.
Yeah. So this is really, really cool. I'm glad we could finally. And this is our season finale. This is episode 10
Yep.
of 10. And we get my favorite person on. And I'm so excited.
I'm
you're here.
honored to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I brought a beanie because I know that you always wear a beanie.
If the one time I showed up without a
And
beanie,
she didn't show up with a beanie. I was like, I have an extra one.
I keep trying to not have the beanie
No.
be like.
No, you can't rebrand. It's too
No.
late.
Is it?
It's too late.
I actually, this is
Is
a
it?
conversation I have with people because it's very split. People are like, can you chill on the beanie thing? Like, you're a grown person.
Anything I feel. Like, dude, you're pushing 50. What are you doing with skinny jeans and a beanie on?
Dude, and then I show up somewhere without a beanie and then people think something legitimately went wrong. They're like, are you okay? What's going on? And then Justin had a backup beanie for me.
Wonderful.
So it's like, I can't turn down a beanie. It's
Right.
like
Yeah.
saying no to fries.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Full disclosure, it was for Kristie because I thought you were going to have a beanie. I had my beanie and that one was
You
for
were gonna
her.
have me.
Yeah. But
Sorry,
then she was like, I
Kristie.
actually forgot my beanie. So
Are you a
all right.
summer beanie? Do you wear beanies in the summer?
I do, but I wear the hats.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm just a hat person.
Summer
I think
beanie is so LA.
it really is. Yeah, it's because we don't have winter, so we just
Right.
we try to make everything winter.
Zara is one of the, actually both of you are the first, one of two, the first people I met when I moved to Los Angeles. Pretty close. You definitely. And it's crazy because you look exactly the same. You have not changed in the 12 years that I've been out
That's
here.
because I wear beanies.
Is that what
so
it is?
You can't see the aging that's happened in my forehead. It's true. I have forehead lines now
Nice.
that didn't exist.
How do I get a beanie for right here? How do I
need
do that?
I need that
The eye
too.
beanie.
I wear those like eye patches underneath.
Do you?
Not in public.
Right, but at home?
I'm considering it. Yeah.
Take the Band-Aid from your wrist and put it on you?
Yeah, that's there because I'm getting a tattoo removed.
Are you really?
Mm-hmm.
What was it?
It was like a little tree symbol, like the camping when you're like driving and you see camping and there's that like arrow tree thing. Yeah, I got it. I still like the shape, but I didn't like how it came out. It was impulsive during COVID, and I went to the one tattoo parlor that was open during COVID, which should have been a red flag.
Yep. Yep.
Hey, just come on and don't tell anybody.
Yep.
Yeah. As soon as I walked in, I was like, something's wrong. I just had a vibe.
This is
Really?
bad.
Yeah.
And you stayed.
I did. I just committed really hard. I was like, well, I psyched myself up
Very
to
nice.
be here. I
Right.
can't bail now.
The world's ending. I might as well get a tattoo.
Yeah, I felt really moved
Yeah.
to do it. And then immediately after, I was like, yeah, that went
Shouldn't
exactly
have.
how I thought it was going to go. And I was like, I'll get this removed one day. And here I am. She like went extra deep, so there's scar tissue
Oh.
and like, yeah, it's gross. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, she was like
nice.
telling me about her son while she was doing it. She's like, he's a tough 18. Like, it was a very stereotypical, like, creepy massage. I mean,
Excuse me?
I said massage.
Weird slip.
It was. Because I've never said creepy tattoo place. I always say creepy massage place.
Did you imagine Zara going into the tattoo or the massage parlor? Like,
Yeah.
you guys do the hip endings here, right?
Give me that sweet, sweet finish.
This is the creepiest way to
Really
say it.
weird.
Sweet finish.
Yeah.
Yuck. It is yuck.
Isn't that?
Yeah, that's yuck.
Yeah. That's how I felt when I was in there.
Yeah.
Not dissimilar.
I love that there's like 4 people in the city who have seen me drink, and you guys are the two of the 4.
Yeah.
Does it matter that I don't even remember?
It's better. That's better. That makes me so much happier that you don't remember.
I don't. It's hard to imagine you.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I love it when I hear that because it makes me feel like I've done something right at least.
Do you have like a lot of shame when you look back and you're like, oh my God?
No, I don't have a lot of shame. I have a lot of like wasted time. Like it's just like it's like the first 10 years of me doing stand-up comedy was just me getting drunk on stage and chasing girls around. You know what I mean? So it was like everyone's at home with their pen and their paper, and I'm like, where's the after party at? Like, let me get through the show, and then we can go out. Like that was so it's like, have I been doing comedy for 20 years or have I been doing it for 8? You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to.
That's so interesting.
You know what I mean? Because you were talking about it before the show about because I can never imagine Kristie drinking like ever in my entire life. And before that we started rolling, she was like, "Yeah, I got pulled over and I fell out of my car." I was like, I cannot see that.
Popped a tire, fell out of my car. It was St. Patrick's Day, so I was I was wearing like all green. I had like the stupid little antennas with the shamrocks on it.
What an image.
Knee-high socks and everything, and just tumbled out of my car. Yep.
What a
bright blue
mugshot.
Ford Mustang.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
I love that. Like,
Yeah.
should we give her the breathalyzer? She's on the floor. Like, we're good.
It's fine.
I think that's like a 0.1 at least.
Yeah. They just had to waft it in my area, and the thing just registered through the roof. They were like, "Yeah, she's good. She's
They started
good to go."
smoking?
Yeah. Ooh.
Are you fully sober now?
Yeah. Yeah.
For how long?
I just had 15 years.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's a huge
Just
deal.
had 15 years. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Congrats.
So it's a long time.
Yeah.
So very like no one in California that I hang out with has ever seen me drunk or drinking. So it's just like my old friends from like before I moved out here that have ever even seen me drunk.
That's how mine is, but except y'all two, and she doesn't remember. So really one person in the city.
I
You
remember well. I'll document it forever.
Yeah.
Never forget.
One time, Kristie was my bartender. One time she served me so much that I got in my car and I remember being hot. And I was like, oh, it's like hot. And I just remember driving home with my shirt off at like 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, dude, if a cop drives by, I'm 100% going to jail. There's no follow-up questions. There's no, just the shirtless dude driving in Burbank with his lights off. Like,
That's
you know?
your version of spilling out of the car.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Nips out when the cop comes to the window. Is
You know what I
never
mean?
Good. It's never good. No.
like, where you going?
Sir.
Where
How do
you
you explain
been?
it? Yeah. Did you start this evening with 100% of clothes?
Yeah. I remember this. I remember getting in my car and being like, it's hot. I just remember throwing my shirt off, driving, being like, yeah, this is not a good look.
That's
You have the
brave.
awareness
it's a
to
brave
know that.
choice.
in my head, being like, this is probably not good.
Was that the final?
No, hell no.
Oh, okay.
No, that was like another year after that.
Yeah.
So, at least the pants were on. That's good.
Yeah.
Big plus.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. Halfway there.
I was the drinker where they would have like, I would go into the bar and they would have meetings afterwards. They'd be like, all right, if Justin comes in, make sure he keeps his pants on. Like that was the rule. There was like the Justin rule at a couple of bars. I would just drink and the pants would come off. I mean, I would just like, that's just how it was. And they would. Could you imagine having a shift meeting of being like, all right, we got to push the salmon tonight. Make sure we get rid of that bottle of Grey Goose and make sure Justin keeps his pants and underwear on in an establishment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be a pretty epic drunk to have like specific bullet points and
Specific huddle ups.
yeah, it's like the Jordan rules.
Yeah.
Like,
They have the note card. It's like, all right, what's going on?
don't let him catch flight.
Yeah.
He's dangerous when he's in the air.
Oh my God. Look at us though. We're all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like
Couple
a really long
adults.
time. Oh man, I know. It's really cute.
How are you doing?
I'm okay.
You okay?
Yeah,
You look great. You look
Thanks.
happy.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm faking that shit
Yeah.
till we make that shit.
Yeah.
No, it's just hard times, but it's cool.
It really is.
Yeah.
There's
it's
a lot
like,
going
it's like
around.
I want to be like, oh, it's cool, you know, and like I'm kind of I'm extremely emotional, so I'm either like pretty fucking great or I'm like really having a hard time. And right now it's
struggling.
like, it's hard to not, I don't know, it's like I want to be like, oh, everything's cool for the sake of like fun interactions and whatever, but then it's also like, you know, shit's hard and it's okay to say it's hard.
It's
and
okay.
like,
Yeah.
you know, everyone's going through it, so it's like it's like I think I've just gotten better at accepting when things are really difficult.
Ooh, look at that.
I'm trying.
That's the hardest thing to do.
That's how I've aged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It isn't in the face.
That's
it's in the
yeah,
soul.
it's like yeah, my soul has crow's feet. That's where I'm
Amazing.
feeling it. Yeah.
Spiritual
Amazing.
Botox.
Yeah.
It is, dude. I laugh. Sometimes stuff gets so bad that you can just be like, all right, like you have no choice but just to kind of laugh and accept it.
I mean,
you know,
what are our options?
kick,
Like,
scream, self-medicate, yell,
Right.
like there's a lot of options.
Yeah.
Drive home drunk with your shirt off. Like
but
there's
like that doesn't help.
no,
You know.
but it feels
Sure.
good for the time for a
Yeah,
second.
short-term solutions, baby. What'd you say?
Always an option, though.
Option.
It's
It's
an
an
option.
Yeah,
It's on the table.
It's in that multiple choice.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, you could go off the rails, or you can just be like, all right, here we go.
Yeah.
You know, the thing about life is like you buy the ticket, you got to take the ride at some point. And you just got to be like, all right, like the train's already left the station. Like, let's see where it goes.
I guess so.
You know, there's some things that you just go, really? Really? What do they say? It's like spiritual growth or whatever. I always do that. I'm like, all right, this is just a lesson that I need to learn. And this is just spiritual growth. Inside, I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. I was reading this book and it said this mantra that's like good to repeat all the time is like, this is exactly what I need right now. For whatever reason. Like
You don't like it?
Nah, I don't like it.
I feel like I don't like it in the sense that like I want to be able to be like, no, this just sucks. But like but it's also like if it's affecting me in a way, then I kind of have to look at it and just be like, well, there's clearly something I need to like know or learn from. So it's like maybe if this is exactly what I need right now in terms of like getting above this,
Yeah.
then like, all right, I can repeat that.
My big quote that I really like is everything is okay in the end. If it isn't okay, it isn't the end.
Yeah, I
because
like
then
that
it's
too.
like, this is temporary. This sucks really bad right now. It's not going to suck forever, but it does suck really bad right now. So it lets me be like upset in the moment, but then I gotta like, then you gotta brush yourself on, move to the next, like it keeps you moving to the next step.
That's so interesting. I always misheard that quote.
Oh, really?
My entire life, I thought that quote was, what is the first part?
Everything is okay in the end.
And if not, who cares?
it
It's the end. That's what I always thought. Like, I always thought, well, that's over.
That's a remix.
Yeah.
That's,
Rebirth.
Yeah.
That's a rebirth.
Yeah. That's an eloquent way to go. Fuck it.
Yeah, that's
You know
what I always
mean?
thought. Like, well, it's the end. It's over. Who cares now?
That's so funny.
I like yours better. Yours is a little bit more optimistic.
A little bit.
Yeah, yours is a little more alcoholic.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's very Justin.
When you're going through a hard time, do you still have the pull to use, or are you like?
You know what's funny? Yeah, I like that you asked that, because no, for 11 years, absolutely not. There was one point about a month ago where I was like, could I? You know, right? I'm just sitting in my car, but it was like 5 seconds. It was about 5 seconds where I was like, I mean, that would take the edge off. But then it was immediately like, no. So no, I guess the answer is no.
Yeah, that's so
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, no, I never have the pull to drink or use or anything like that at this point, and for like a very long time, no. But sometimes I think it trickles into other things. Like sometimes I'll like comfort eat, or I'll have to keep an eye on like my behavior and like how I'm interacting with other people. Like I'll indulge in I'll have to be aware of myself indulging in other ways. So I have to just keep myself on track in that way instead.
It goes to other areas of your life for sure if you don't check it.
Yeah.
For sure.
That I totally get.
Yeah.
I don't end up topless in my car.
Right,
but,
right.
Like I might be like more snippy with my husband than I should be. You know what I mean?
Little
Like
crunchy.
that kind of thing. I gotta be like, I gotta rein that in.
Totally.
Yeah.
And then
Definitely
apologize because you're self-aware. It's exhausting.
That's the worst part.
Yeah.
Being self-aware and knowing better and then doing it is the worst. Because then you're like,
That's so
I'm
true.
sorry.
I fucking knew it.
Yeah, I knew
Yeah.
better. Because when you're a drunken mess, you're like, you guys deal with it.
Right.
Figure it out. You don't like me, go
Sounds like a
somewhere.
you problem.
Yeah. And now you're like, I'd like to make an amends. I was a little short with you.
It's so interesting.
Yeah. No, I don't really, because I just know where that goes. But there is that, like, sometimes I get angry that I don't have that medicine sometimes. Like, I was talking to a friend, he was like, man, there's just nothing like just taking that first drink and taking the edge off. And I'm like, that's exactly what it's made for. The problem is when you go 15, 16, 17, 18.
You're like, I want 15 first sips.
Right. Yeah. And so that's where that's where I know where I'm different than everybody else. But there's that sort of like jealousy sometimes of like, oh man, that one, like that first like 2 sips of the first and then stopping, no problem. But I can't do that.
Yeah.
It's just impossible.
Gotta have another thing.
Yeah.
Some other thing.
God. That's like the solution now. It's like, God. How do you take the edge off? Prayer.
Oh man.
Meditation.
This is why they say that you get more conservative when you get older.
I didn't say Jesus.
Well,
Not yet.
Not yet. That's why he's growing out the beard.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
yeah, it's because you
Start
are
your own
Jesus.
cult.
People get very confused about me, by the way, whenever I travel. I go, I'm from California, and I look like this. They're like, well, we know who you voted for.
Yeah.
I go, but I'm originally from Texas, and they're like, shit. Like, they don't know, like, which way, like,
Yeah.
they don't know which box to put me in. Because sometimes I look the way that I look, and people are real comfortable telling me things a lot of times when we travel.
You do look trustworthy.
I don't mean trustworthy. I mean, like,
Right.
Oh, you mean like,
like I'm going to be a...
Right.
I mean, that's trustworthy
Yeah.
for a certain group of people.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, there have been, Isaac, you and I have been to some places where people get real comfortable telling us things.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm one of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got some opinions.
You look like somebody I can talk to, boy.
You got a mullet? Yeah, I don't know, man. It's funny. What do you to catch up, to bring everybody up to speed, you are married now. I don't think you were married when we did the last.
I don't even think
I was
believed in
engaged.
marriage.
You were engaged
time
and you were not.
I was engaged to my single life.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so funny.
Yeah. We got
Dude,
two.
times have changed.
Yeah. We got two
Yeah.
married women now. I wanted Kristie to take the reins on this podcast because she's a married woman and you're a married woman. And she has some questions for you.
A couple. We talk a lot when we talk about relationships this time around. We've had a lot of focus on kind of like what's the difference between how you feel when you're dating somebody as opposed to when you meet the person and like decide like, oh yes, this is a person. And it's interesting that you say that. Like, I know I was also a person that was very anti-marriage. I was like, I am not getting married. Absolutely never going to happen. What made you change your mind?
I like the way that that was really,
You like that?
yeah,
Back to you.
sassy.
Yeah, Zara.
Yeah, now I really feel like I have to give a good answer.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
What was the question?
Or was there something?
Oh, thank you so much. I need this water to relax. After
Take the edge off?
You just looked at me. Yeah, it's that first sip.
That first thing.
This is my 5th water, by the way. That's if it tells you what an addict I am.
Yeah, seriously. I really thought that I was going to, after my last relationship, I thought I was going to be single for a really long time just because it was such an intense experience. And the ending was really sad and hard for both of us. I think we just were not good for each other, and we both really cared about each other a lot, which is a hard way to break up because you're like, we both tried and wanted this, and it's just not right. So I was like, I need to be single for a while and like really find myself and all that. And then like 2 months later, like
2 months?
yeah,
Wow.
Pretty crazy.
No, okay.
Yeah. I went to therapy. I like did the work. I felt like I reflected. I was like, what part of this was me? What part of this wasn't me? And then when we met, it just, I don't know. I felt the work, so corny, but I felt like the work click in, and I was like, oh, I am the version of myself that I wish that I was in my past relationship, but it wasn't possible with that person. But I felt the most myself and the most excited about, I guess, the direction that life could suddenly go in. And it felt like it took a life of its own. I didn't have to really row the whole boat myself. And then we just, I guess, encouraged each other really early on to be the best versions of each other, like to be whoever we wanted to be, not who we, like who we wanted to be ourselves. How do I, like, we, does that,
not the best person I want, not change these things I want, but be who you want to be.
Be who you want to be, not who I want you to be. Which was totally different from what I was used to. And it's like, how do you deny that? There's like no way to say no to that.
Yeah. It's amazing. And it's such an important thing because when you're talking about people who are like in the stage of dating, so much of it is like masking and pretending, and I'm going to pretend that I'm this person and you're going to pretend that you're this person. Eventually we're going to find out who we really are. And then is that still going to match up? And when you meet someone who just is a good match for you, like you said, it's just really easy and it just kind of clicks and falls into place. And it just makes, for me, it made me reflect on what is the point of all of the work of trying to change and get this in? Will this person change and all of that kind of thing when you could just not be with that person, as hard as it is, like you talked about, as hard as it is, maybe it's not that person. Maybe there's somebody else that's just a better match, and that's okay. You don't have to break up with someone because they are bad. You can break up with someone because they're just not your person.
100%.
And that's the hardest thing to do, I think. Isaac, let me ask you this, because Isaac, you're in a relationship. When you, before this, or maybe with her, do you come in as your authentic self immediately, like this is who I am, or do you try to like kind of freshen it up a little bit?
Well, I'm in a particularly weird situation because I dated her 18 years ago. So she was my first girlfriend in California when I didn't care about like being faithful or whatever. I was in a band. We were just having fun for 2 years.
Excuse me.
Yeah. And the only reason we broke up years ago, this is going to be a little bit of a bummer, but like my dad and her mom died within like months of each other. We just couldn't emotionally.
Not together though, right?
They didn't know each other.
Okay, all right.
That would be weird if they died together. Same plane.
No.
Cut to, she got out of a relationship
Yeah.
a year and a half, 18 months ago. And she just called me up as a rebound.
Okay.
And that's right when you and I started going on the road.
Yeah.
And that friendship over the years, just that slowly trickled into like becoming exclusive with each other. And then.
And it was how long had passed?
17 years had passed.
How good were you in bed that 17 years later she was like, I got to call that guy?
That's literally, she'll tell you, like, she's like, I just thought back through the Rolodex and I was like, you're the one I had the most fun with, so I'm going to call you up. Okay. And then I laid that pipe one more time. Okay. And then I don't want to like totally take over this whole episode, but the big point of contention was that she went out and had fun with other people.
Yeah.
While you and I were on the road, because we hadn't really made a agreement that we would be exclusive. And in my head, I'm like, well, I'm on the road. I'm not doing anything else. And I thought we were in a thing.
And
before.
She goes, surprise, I am.
Yeah. So that was the thing that took me forever to get over. But now I'm moving in with her on Tuesday.
Yay!
She's my person.
Congrats.
And I told you, whatever happens, if you guys are not exclusive, it's none of your business.
Yeah, and I hate that.
I know you hate it.
It's still my business.
Yeah, it's not. It's not.
But
Spiritual growth.
I think you're totally right. When you find like the one, they say when you know, you know. Like I didn't know right away. I was like, oh, I didn't fucking dated her 18 years ago. If it didn't work out then, it's not going to work out now.
Yeah.
And I followed her on social media the whole time. I kind of saw what she was doing. I was like, I'm never going to get back together with her.
Yeah.
And now I can't imagine like going a day without her.
Okay.
But you were a different person 17 years ago.
100%.
So the person you were then was not a good match for her. But obviously there was something there. And now the person who you are now is a good, you know what I mean?
I'm
like
a different asshole now.
a different brand of asshole.
Huge asshole
like
back
a
then.
grumpy asshole now.
Yeah. Back then, I was expecting a life insurance policy because I knew my dad was going to die of brain cancer. So I was like just waiting around for millions of dollars.
Yeah.
That never came.
Yeah. Okay.
So
yeah. Well, really, really bringing it down right now.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Okay. Well, let's talk about your sobriety a little bit more.
It's hilarious.
But that's my story. And feel free to cut all of that shit out.
No, I love that. Yeah, because I remember being young and being like, okay, this girl does that, so I have to put on this mask and I have to act this certain way, and then you're sort of juggling too many, you know what I mean? It's like you're almost like Miss Doubtfiring.
100%.
Okay, I gotta, whatever. Not to the extent where I'm like, all right, I gotta put on a FUBU jacket for this girl, and you know what I mean? But like, you're almost kind of like, all right, who does this person? And then you get older or whatever, and you're like, this is just like who I am, dude. Like, I just like, if you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
You know?
But I think to your point, it also makes you feel like you do want to be your best version of your best self.
Right.
Because that brings you both up. And like today, I'm going to just give you one more quick story. Like she was doing something at work. She needed a little bit of help. I had to drive over an hour to get there and help her for 15 minutes. And I was like, I woke up this morning. I was like, I fucking don't want to do this. But I told her that I would. And I showed up. I got to meet all of her coworkers. And she was like, this is my hero. He's my man.
Yeah.
And in my head, I'm like, don't tell her how bad that you fucking don't want to do this. Right. But I told her I would. I want to be a guy of my word because I want to.
Isn't that funny? It took me, I am 44 years old, and I promise you, it took me until I was 42, maybe 43. If I just keep my mouth shut, everything usually is okay. You don't need to know my opinions, what I think, how bad traffic was to get here, how I don't want to come help you for only 50. If I just keep my mouth shut, like you were saying, you get to be the hero, right? Versus like, all right, let's do this.
Well, I should have kept my mouth shut when I volunteered to go help her.
That was your that was your first mistake.
The timing was wrong.
Yeah.
So I learned a lesson.
Oh my God, that's so funny. That's actually true though. Like everyone loved Elon until he started talking.
100%. Just keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, just stop talking.
Right.
And like
Pipe
you would
down.
still be the rocket guy.
Right. You'd be the rocket guy. The guy who gave us the cool cars.
The PayPal dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now he's everything else but that.
Right.
Yeah.
None of that at all.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. It's such a good point too, though, that you brought up of like, that's the second piece though, is that you also don't want to be with someone who lets you be complacent and makes you feel like I'm just going to be this same person forever and ever and ever.
That's so true. And I actually, that was something that I was thinking of bringing up to you too. Like,
Oh, is this a question for Kristie?
yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know if this goes in
go ahead.
order.
Sure. Yeah.
No, I just like, so he and I have been together now almost 7 years. So we've seen each other now through like a few big life phases, and I was just wondering, like, I feel like he and I have evolved and grown together in the same way at the same pace, if that makes sense. But do you think that like relationships, even longer term, have to continue doing that, like evolve at the same time together to be a successful relationship?
That's a big question, and I don't know the answer to that. I know my experience has been that since, with my husband and I, there have been times where one of us has been really on the ball and the other person was having a hard time, and vice versa. Just because of whatever it was that was going on in the house. And another really tough time was like when the kids came, and then, you know, there was complications with their birth, and then they had like all this stuff going on. And then at the same time, my husband's whole company shut down. And so we had like zero income because I was on bed rest from all that stuff. So we sort of like separated into two different areas. Like I had to do all this stuff for the kids, he had to like make work happen out of nowhere. So there was a lot of like that separation. And so there's been times where we've sort of, and now I'm back to working and pursuing my stuff. So I don't think it has to go at the same pace. I think it's okay for one person to have like a burst of inspiration to do their thing, but I think a big thing is just being on the same team about it. You know what I mean?
Sense.
Do you mean, because not to interject here, but do you mean like, well, one person like is advancing their like working on themselves and going to therapy or going to 12-step or like whatever, and sort of working on getting better, and the other person is like not working on their shit at all, and one sort of outpaces the other?
That's what I mean.
Yeah, I think that's a problem. When one person really fully outpaces one, I think that's when things kind of, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like life will do what life does.
Yeah.
And like, you know, obviously like career is way harder to have control over. There are going to be dead periods and then acceleration periods.
But I think it's when people talk about outgrowing the person, right? Where you've sort of, you know.
Sure.
Yeah, I feel like both people have to be active partners, and like working on yourself is working on the relationship at a certain point. It's like, and letting that go feels like you're letting the relationship down.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you're not talking about like this. It's just one person flatlined and the other person's gonna eventually, you're not even gonna be able to look back and see the other person.
Yeah.
Right.
So at a certain point, one person is choosing to evolve and the other person is choosing not to, and that can be
a problem.
Brutal.
Yeah.
What was the red flag question that you had? Because I like that a lot.
I talk a lot about people dating and having, instead of like a list of things that they want in the other person, of making boundaries for themselves, like bumpers for bowling. And one is like the things that they absolutely must have in another person in order to be happy, and the other thing being like complete and utter deal breakers. And then everything else in the middle is just kind of preference, right? You can choose to overlook things, not overlook things, but if you
I love overlooking
bumpers,
Justin's
but
good
you
at that.
can't overlook the
I don't
deal
see
breakers.
anything. I don't see any deal breakers.
You can't overlook the deal breakers.
It's bright in here.
Those you have to pay attention to. Everything else is up for debate. So I was wondering, so my first question is, are there any just kind of like red flags or like icks or things like that that you normally would have brushed a guy off for, but because your husband had other things, you were able to persist, or you still found attractive?
Yeah.
It's interesting because I'm wondering if the things I'm thinking of would fall into the preference
Right.
folder.
That's more what I mean, of like preferences and just kind of things that you...
I mean, he's really messy. That's like not my... I like things clean.
Right.
I fold clothes when they're like not ready to go into the hamper. Like I just don't... We were on a trip one time, and for some reason I thought it was a good idea to feed our dog in the bed, in the hotel bed. And then my dog like spilled it all over the bed. And I was like, oh man, we're going to have to get these sheets cleaned, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, it's fine. I'll just sleep.
That's such a dude. I'll just sleep with the kibble.
He's
Who
like,
cares?
It's fine. I was like, dude, it's like raw chicken.
Oh, it wasn't even dry food?
No, it was wet food. And I was like, I could call that gross, or I could call that really inspiring.
I love it.
Like,
I'm for it.
I was like, dude, and then I have to force myself to relax, because that's not
Right.
something that would like break us up, but I have to just be like, you know, I ship you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Baby, we're on vacation. You get sleep. I'll sleep on the pedigree. It's fine.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's really funny. So like things like that, like I've also like, taken those things as opportunities to just let shit go.
Yeah.
Because I also lived alone for 5 years before we met, so I had full control over my environment and everything. I would leave something somewhere, and when I came home, it was in the same place.
Dude,
like
that's what I'm going through right now. I'm living alone for the first time since I was probably late 20s.
How is it?
Everything is exactly where it's supposed to be.
Oh, that's so nice.
And so, like, I know there's going to come a time in the future when I start dating somebody and we move in together, live together, and I've got to let go of that control of just be like, okay, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's just like, it just comes with
it's
the
part of it.
furniture of a relationship. Yeah.
I don't even remember what that feeling is like.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what that feeling is like. I don't think I've had my own hairbrush in like years.
Me neither. So
Yeah. My kids are in my stuff. My husband's in my stuff.
Honestly, that's the
It's
biggest
no
thing
holds
that's
barred.
stopping me from having kids. I'm not
The hairbrush?
kidding. The brush specifically.
you have beanies. It's fine.
Yeah, I guess that's actually true. That's the one time I don't ever have to brush my hair.
Yeah.
Because if you just throw a beanie on it.
My son steals my husband's beanies all the time.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
That could be
8
a
years
problem.
old.
Oh, dude, this
no
is
kids.
worse than I thought. Yeah.
You gonna go get the ring now?
No.
What is it? The Nobu ring. What is it called?
That's sushi.
Yeah, the sushi ring.
Yeah, that's the one. No, that pretty much answered my question about the kids thing.
Oh.
I think now
No problem.
I think now we know.
No problem.
Yeah.
But so
Yeah.
red flag, any red flag, you're like, oh, I don't know. If this is anybody else besides my person, I don't know if I could do this. But I love this guy so much, I'm going to ignore it. It's just the cleaning. Clean thing?
Does that mean like theoretically or like actually in this relationship? Theoretically, I don't think I would ever go out with someone who wears sports jerseys not at a game.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Does he do that?
No.
Oh. Okay.
But I'm
But
just
if he
answering
did-
your question.
But if he did, you would still do
if he
it.
did, you know what? I gotta let it go.
Yeah.
No one's perfect.
Yeah.
I would let it go.
If your
but I
biggest
do
complaint is
think
a
that's
jersey.
really weird.
I mean, I don't do it, but yeah, I can
I think
see.
that's weird.
Yeah. Okay.
Why?
We're gonna lose our Jersey fan base right now, but guys, stick with us.
No, I love sports. I'm a huge sports fan.
But only at the game.
Yeah, like there are other shirts. Why are you wearing someone else's shirt?
Do you wear band shirts?
No.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah.
less weird.
Yeah.
Because a jersey's a jersey.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
I don't know. I feel like someone's trying to be someone else.
Right.
Well, like, I want to be like Mike. And it's like a little weird.
It's the second mic reference you made in 8 minutes.
I told you I'm a sports fan.
That's definitely a bit. You should definitely tell that on stage.
Really?
Oh my God, that's
Yeah.
super funny.
Yeah.
Especially
yeah.
in North
Yeah.
Hollywood when they all have jerseys on. You should do
Yeah,
that.
Yeah,
especially
the ha-ha.
if you see a guy wearing a jersey at one of your shows,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
you should definitely go in on him.
Really? Okay. I've been having the hardest time writing, so I'll
you go.
trust your opinion.
That's what we do on this show.
Yeah.
Can we play our? Do you have time? I know you got a flight in the morning. Can we do a voice? We have a question for the show, I believe. Can we pull that up, Isaac? Where are you heading tomorrow, by the way, Zara?
Oh, I'm going out to Idlewild, which is
You're flying out there?
no, I'm driving.
Oh,
Oh, I thought you said you had a flight in the
No,
morning.
no. I just said I'm leaving town.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you were flying to Idlewild. I was
No,
like,
I
you
can't
gotta-
get on a plane right now in this economy.
I'm telling you,
No way.
dude, you're preaching to the choir right
Yeah.
now, man.
No, flying freaks the shit out
Isn't
of
it
me.
wild?
When there are no crashes.
Right.
Yeah.
I have
We-
issues.
Yeah, we the same. All three people at this table.
Really scary.
100%. And now it's like, oh, now I have a. It makes me feel bad for the 20 years when I was scared when there was no problems.
I
Right.
know. Now I should have flown more.
Yeah.
Really think about it.
Yeah,
Every
yeah.
time I was like, we should drive. Why?
Why?
if you were going to be in a wreck, though, while I'm pulling this up, wouldn't you want to be in the one that flipped over? Because
Isaac.
if you're in one that you live, the odds of you getting in another plane crash after that are very low. Okay,
do
never mind.
not talk to me about odds in
I
plane
thought
crashes.
I thought you were gonna say because they all got 30 grand. From
That's all they got?
That's all they got?
Yeah, apparently.
Oh, I would get more.
No, yeah.
I would get a lawyer.
Yeah. I'm going to get a plane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will
want
crash
what's-
my own plane.
I want the wreckage. It's going in my backyard. Here is a phone call from.
What is that number, by the way, if people want to call in for
It's-
season 2?
It's 323-272-3908. I said the wrong number on the last episode.
Great.
Did you really?
I said 3906.
We'll
It's
just cut it.
3908.
That's fine. Isaac, what's that number one more time if people want to call in?
It is 323-272-3908.
Okay. Let's hear what we got.
Here is a voicemail.
Hey, how you guys doing tonight? This message is for Justin and Kristie. So I've been seeing this woman for, we've been with each other for like a couple months now,
Nice.
and I really like her. I
You can
really
already
do.
tell it's gonna be good.
But she has quite a bit of hair above her lip. And I always see it, like, right before we're going to kiss, like, right when we're, getting happy and having a good time. I go to kiss her, and it's just, like, right there. And I don't know what to do about this. Like, how do I bring this up? I'm just, like, I'm at a loss. I don't want to ruin anything with her, but how do you even bring it up? Should I bring it up? How do you, tell a woman that you love that to wax her mustache? I would appreciate any help that you guys can give me. So, all right, thanks for your help. Bye.
Justin, what were you saying about how you fix problems? You realize that you have far less problems if you...
Keep your mouth shut.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. I think that's brilliant.
Zara?
Did he say how long they've been hanging out?
He said, I really like her.
Yeah, I know, but no. There's a difference between mentioning it after like a couple weeks than
Wait, what's better, immediately or after a while?
no after a
After a
while.
while.
For sure, because then you could be like, "Hey babe, let's shave our mustaches together. We could make this like a bonding thing."
You're 100%
Yes.
right. So
Yes.
you know how okay, oh my God, you're absolutely right. You know, like when
Yeah.
someone's been together for a long time and you get comfortable in the relationship and maybe you guys start gaining weight together, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, the solution is like, hey babe, I'm gonna cook chicken and vegetables, and then I'm gonna sign up for a yoga class if you want to be a part of this journey with me. 100%. But really, you just work on yourself and hope to inspire the other person. You can't do that like you can't be like, yeah, I can't do it tonight, babe. I'm gonna be in the bathroom shaving my mustache. If you want to come,
yeah, if you want to come.
There's a very small window that you get to bring this up, and if it's too early, you fucked up, and if it's too late, you get to never bring it up ever.
100%.
That's so true.
What do you think?
I think it depends on how long they've been together, but like, I can't imagine bringing that up now. Like,
the only thing I could think of, like, I could imagine is like if they're making out and then it's really nice, and then when he pulls away, he like playfully like.
Passes aggressively, pulls her mustache.
I don't know why. I can see
Absolutely not.
I can see
it. He twirls it.
What? Yeah, what are your plans for this?
What, tying a woman to a train track?
How long? Like what shapes are you thinking about? This could go a lot of different ways. How long are we growing this? Should I grow it with you? They could grow it together.
Or you can wait till October and then do like a couple's
what, she's going to be Gomez Adams?
And then you got to, like, babe, for this costume, we both got to shave everything on our bodies. Just everything. Head to toe.
That's good, but then it grows back as the problem.
Oh, my God.
That's somebody else's. That's a later problem.
There is not a...
solves it individually.
There is not a scenario where a man commenting on a woman's body goes well.
I was about to say, actually, now it's probably less possible than ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because, that might be a choice of hers. Like, there's also a difference between her not being aware and then it being an actual, like, feminist choice, right?
Yeah. I mean, she's got a mirror. She knows what her face looks like, right?
I mean, I knew someone who didn't know that she had a chin hair.
Yeah.
Did you tell her? Did you playfully poke at it?
It was me.
It's me. It's my chin hair.
Me.
Full disclosure, that person was me.
And we had a conversation about it. Me and
I.
We sat down. I had one chin hair once, and it was.
We hung out. I didn't tell you.
You are gonna make me freak out. I really was like, how long is this?
I don't know, dude. That's
Have you never had a chin hair, Kristie?
Oh, absolutely chin hairs.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Dude, I saw a girl one time that had hairy armpits, and I was like, that's so hot. I don't know why. No?
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. It did something for me.
That's tough. Yeah. I mean, his hands are probably tied.
Yeah, man. Just go be with we just talked about like preferences, and if that's your preference, that's your preference. But leave the girl be.
So don't say anything?
I would say
say anything?
Leave the girl be.
I wouldn't say anything, but the bigger question is why is he looking at her upper lip when they're about to kiss?
Bro, if you're going in for a kiss and you see...
It's like high five. You got to look at the elbow. You don't, when you're kissing somebody, you look in their eyes.
Wait.
Like when we kiss, Justin.
Wait, you really don't look at the target?
I don't look at the mouth. No. Why would you look at the mouth?
I get lost.
I couldn't white knuckle kissing my girlfriend every day and like avoiding her face because she has a, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you saying?
But if you can't feel it and you can only see it.
It sounds like he can feel it.
If there's that much hair, then she's got to see it in the mirror.
How does he not
she's
feel
just
it?
choosing to.
He must have to grow out his facial hair for protection.
There you go. That's the solution.
Because his is obviously going to be thicker than hers.
That's the solution.
Stronger armor.
But then if they get entangled in one another, he can be like, babe, you got to shave your shit. It's getting in my beard.
Then it's a nest.
Yeah.
Honey, I love you. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your body.
Yeah.
I am getting late to work because I'm getting caught up in your mustache.
Yeah.
That's right.
But I feel like a solid relationship, if they've been together for a long time, I feel like he could bring it up in terms of like curiosity.
Yes.
To be like, I've been wanting to ask, like, is there something that makes I'm curious about the choice?
Right.
Riddle me this.
I don't know. Like,
Or-
it's obviously a choice. Can't he ask about it?
Oh, sure. If they're in a relationship and this isn't someone who he just started
100%.
dating and they are like have that level of like she understands that she is attractive to him and there's not like a bunch of questioning going on of being like, have you ever waxed your face before?
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? Like,
That sounds worse than what we were saying.
was it worse?
No, here's the problem with it: is everything sounds normal when you're the one saying it. But when
someone
you're
says it to
Hearing
you,
it.
it's bad.
because what I said was like, hey, what do you? It sounded normal to me, and then you guys were like, Jesus Christ,
Whoa!
she can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can't say that to her.
Okay.
No, but it's hard.
I'm gonna get
no,
my
man.
ass waxed tomorrow. Do you want to come with me? Is there anything you want done?
Your mouth
Right.
breath.
I'm gonna put my money where your mouth is.
The other thing is, he could just. This is a great solution. He could just invite her to watch this podcast with him,
There you go.
and then he.
Foster the podcast.
I mean, hopefully he disguised his voice, but
yeah.
if
Oh,
she
God.
doesn't.
Hopefully she's not listening. Jeff, is that you?
Yeah.
All right, I know you got to go. Last thing, really fast. Do you
it's
have
okay.
time for one more thing?
Yeah.
All right, this is our season finale wrap-up question. This is from Reddit. I got this from Reddit. I was looking for relationship stuff. By the way, relationships stuff on Reddit is usually a nightmare. It's 99%. You
Yeah.
open it up, and the first one will be like, well, it finally happened. I puked on my husband during a 69 session. Like, that was,
Okay.
it's usually that.
Okay.
This is
It
the one
finally happened.
It finally happened is the funniest word in that sentence,
Yeah.
by the way.
Yeah, that's what makes it funny.
Oh my God.
Well, I knew this day was coming.
yeah.
It's a matter of time.
But the one below that, I thought was interesting. Should I dump my boyfriend because he asked a specific friend to join us? And it goes on to say, my boyfriend and I were in the shower the other day after getting down the other night, and he suggested a threesome. I thought we were just doing dirty talk, and I was like, oh, yeah, what did you have in mind? And he said, you, me, and me and you and another woman. I said, okay, but where are we going to find another woman? And then he suggested my best friend by name.
that's not it for me.
Yeah, I don't think that's.
This guy's clearly never had a threesome before.
Really?
Yeah, you don't get to pick. It's
not
not
your-
how life goes.
But it's funny if she had the name ready to go versus him having the name ready to go. It's two different things.
It's way hotter if she was like, "How about Sandy?" You're like, "Oh yeah."
You can't say it. You got to be like, yeah, I guess.
If she says any name, you go, "Fuck yeah!" As long as it's not a dude.
You got. Oh, what if she's like,
Yeah.
yes, Steve.
Brian. Yeah.
Right.
What about your
Right.
best friend?
If he said we should have a threesome and she didn't wait for any follow-up and just said, oh my gosh, Daniel, yeah, he would have freaked out, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So, you know,
How about them apples?
There you
how
go.
about them apples?
Do you think threesomes always have to be with someone you don't know?
No, probably better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Probably better if you don't know the third person.
I guess I meant have to be, meaning like for the sake of the relationship. Like obviously it's legal to do it with someone you know.
As long as she has a mustache, I don't care.
As long as she has hairy armpits and a fucking.
I'm in.
I would think if it's like a novelty thing, that having a third party that's unrelated would be
The move.
helpful,
Yeah, I
because otherwise it's always going to be there when the third person's around. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I've had both, and sometimes it's funny. It's sort of you're like in the remember that one time when we all did the thing? It's you're sort of inside on a
Yeah, you have to really trust
Yeah.
that person.
Isaac.
There you go.
Oh, I got very specific thoughts on this because me and Lisa used to do that all the time in our first round.
Wait. Your girlfriend now 18 years ago used
All the time. Every single one of our friends.
her friends?
Yeah, because I lived in a house that had a hot tub, so we would be hanging out after the bars. We'd all be, let's go swimming, and then eventually it would just be like, everybody's going home, and then it would just be like the three of us hanging out, and it was just boom, boom. We were going through every single one of our friends.
Is that what happens when you have a hot tub?
Yes.
I gotta get a
have
hot tub.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
You do?
And I've never had a threesome.
Oh, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah. But we had rules. But we don't have enough time to get
Okay. The one rule was her friends, not your friends.
Yeah.
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 I never actually thought about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good rule. Yeah, I got to get a hot tub.
There you go.
The career goals.
Career goals.
Will you have a hot tub?
Yeah.
What are you guys doing after the show? Season finale.
Literally.
Hot tub party.
Yeah, if you guys want to come to Idlewild.
Yes. Are we flying? You gotta have a pool and a jet if you guys want to come. Zara, thank you so much for coming on.
Oh my God, thanks for
Yeah.
having me back.
Yes, this was really
So
fun.
fun.
Was that too early? I should have waited 2 seconds.
No, that was
before.
perfect.
That was actually great.
Do
timing.
one more for 10 brand new episodes of Foster the Podcast.
Oh, wait, that's the wrong one. Nope.
Ladies and
Razor.
gentlemen, we appreciate you tuning in. I like this. Leave this. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you guys tuning in for the last 10 episodes of the rebirth of Foster the Podcast. Will there be a season 2? We don't know. Will there? I don't know.
Tune in to find out.
You don't know.
I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
You have to leave on a cliffhanger. You know what I mean?
If so, it'll be next week. So
Surprise!
We're just gonna keep it going.
that's how seasons work.
That's like when
So
American Idol has their like breakup tour, and then they're like, surprise, season 46.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought we just went through all the fields of.
It's like when the show ends and it's like 20 years later they do another season. I'm like, yeah, what's going on?
Yeah, kind of like this show.
Yeah, like this.
Hey.
Just like this.
Guys, thank you so much. This has been so much fun. Kristie, thank you. Zara, thank you. Isaac, thank you. Listeners, thank you. Tell everybody about this show. Share it, promote it, let everyone know that we are back, and we'll see you next time.